What's up, everyone? It's your boy Norin Radd89 here, bringing you another rad movie review today to talk about Smile 2. Yes, your boy Norin. I'm catching up on a bunch of movies that I missed from earlier in the year, ones that I didn't have time to or I didn't get a chance to go check them out in theaters. Now a lot of them are streaming in December, and today, like I said, we're going to discuss Smile 2, which is the sequel to Smile. This is directed by Parker Finn, and this one I was quite excited for because I liked Smile, but I was a little lukewarm on it. I didn't love it. I'm more of an It Follows kind of person. So today you're going to hear my thoughts on Smile 2, the positives, the negatives, and the rating, and I'm going to send you all home. So let's do this. Roll it. So Smile 2 follows our lead character, Naomi Scott, who plays Sky Riley, who is a pop star, and she's struggling with getting over addiction. She had a horrible car accident that happened a year prior to when we meet her in this film, and we kind of meet her at one of the worst points in her life, you know what I mean? It kind of looks like she's getting it together, but she's not really getting it together, and of course she runs into the entity from Smile, and that leads into a whole plethora of crazy stuff that she ends up going down. And for me, this is the prime example of why I'm a sequel whore. I love sequels, and I'm always champion sequels. You know, there's always the exception to the rule. I'm looking at you, Strangers Chapter 1. But of course, like I said, I am a sequel whore and I love sequels. So this one, prime example of why I like them, is because this one did everything that first Smile did for me, but better. The execution, the story, the scares, the cinematography, the music, basically everything about this film I liked better than the previous film. So let's start talking about some of my main positives. Naomi Scott as Sky Riley, fucking tastic. I absolutely loved her performance. If I can give her an award right now, like Norin's awards for, most outstanding performance of the year, I would probably give it to Naomi Scott, because she absolutely floored me. What she did physically, what she did emotionally, and what she brought to this character of Sky Riley, I was totally on board with this character. And for me, this film also, because of the story and what it's dealing with, it calls close to home to me. I'm more familiar with addiction and what that does to one person and how it affects your life. I'm just more familiar with that territory. So this story and what she's going through, it just speaks to me more than the previous film in terms of the character, because that was one of my weak points of the first film. I didn't really like our lead protagonist. Another amazing thing about this sequel is, like I said, we amp up the scares, and I think the cinematography, everything I think is better. Like, I think this film is actually scarier than the first one. This one has better camera work and has more engaging scenes, and this one actually has also a musical number in it, which I'm one of those people. I'm going to champion it right now. I wish more movies would just flat out have musical numbers in them. Even if you're not a musical, just flat out have some kind of music number in it and stop the movie. It's kind of like, stopping the movie just to give you a break, you know what I mean, for a little bit, but get you immersed into this. The music number, of course, has to be good. Like, the music number in this film is absolutely outstanding, but I understand why some people could say that that might grind your pace to a halt sometimes. But I think this one, they did a fantastic job of giving you a music number, but also tying it into what's going on with our lead character. I also love the pace of this film. This is one of those films that it's kind of like a roller coaster. I like these movies now. I love horror movies that are just start right from the get-go. They kind of get you involved in a story, or they're carrying on from a previous one, and they just throw you right into the dirt of the story and the meat of it, and it just keeps you enthralled and keeps you in the edge of your seat the whole time. That's what I like about this movie. Is, like I said, it just has a awesome briskful pace that it did not feel like 2 hours. Like, this film's over 2 hours, and this felt like an hour and 40-minute type film for me because of how much I was enjoying it. I also want to give a shout out to our side characters. Besides our lead character, I said our side characters. Kyle Gallner comes back, reprising his role. He has a fantastic introduction part in this film. Our lead actress, her mom, the character who plays her mother, I think she did a great job. I can't remember that actress's name, but I'll have it on the screen below. She did a fantastic job playing that overbearing kind of mother that's kind of driving you to perfection, cares about you, but still has that thing where they're like, kind of being a little bit overpowering and overbearing. She did a absolutely standout job. Now let's get into some of the mixed and negatives because I didn't think this was an absolute perfect one. It is a great improvement on that first one, and I will definitely be rewatching this one more than the first film. In terms of my negatives, is that this is kind of one of those films that you could see where it's going. It doesn't really offer, it offers better than that first film, but in terms of changes to the story and where we end up with our character, there's not that much difference. So that's one thing I want to say, is that it definitely has a predictable type third act to it, and that thing definitely does hinder this being, some kind of a unique type film. But like I said, I still had an absolute blast and enjoyed the ride with this character. My other negative is more just a nitpicky one. We had some awesome moments of gore, some very gruesome gore effects that I was very happy with. But then there's an ending shot. I don't want to spoil it, but the third act, like literally the ending, I wanted something else. It's hard to describe it or talk about it without getting into spoilers. I might do like a little spoiler warning section and maybe talk about it later at the end of the video. But yeah, there's just something about the very ending third act shot. Like I wanted something else there, and they didn't really give it to us. So overall, in my book, Smile 2 was a great improvement on the first Smile. For me, in my rating, for the Radd rating, your boy Norin Radd89 is going to give Smile 2 an 8.5 out of 10. This is very much on the cusp of being like one of those very, very perfect horror films that came out this year. There's a lot of great ones, but there's a lot of horror films that were on the cusp, you know what I mean? I have one when I get down to my ranking and I start talking about the horror films from this year. So far, there's one from this year that really hit that notch of me looking at it as a perfect horror film for me. But in terms of the other ones, there's been some other very, very good ones like Smile 2 that I would describe are on the cusp right there, right about to reach that greatness level. But these are just my thoughts and my opinions on Smile 2. Please let me know down below in the comment section what are your feelings on this film. I would love to discuss with you. And please like the video. That definitely helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and have that notification bell poked so you're notified anytime I drop a video, because I'm going to be trying to get as many Radd movie reviews out as I can over the next week in terms of what I watch that's new. And then when the top 10 list comes out, that way I have that. I'll have a couple honorable mentions, but that way there's Radd movie reviews for all of the films, so you can go get my in-depth thoughts on any one of those films, because the ranking video will be more of just where they are and where they rank and why they are at that spot. But thanks for hanging around with me, but most importantly, you all know what's up. Have a safe and happy day. Peace out.